The eyes will never show you the truth. Your physical eyes will never show you the truth, because what your physical eyes see is the delay. It is the lag. It is the shadow of reality, which is consciousness. Consciousness is the only true reality. And consciousness is always first within, so without. First, you structure. You structure with feeling. You structure with thoughts, with your thoughts, right? You structure with intention, with emotion. So you build your inner world. And as you build your inner world, your outer world crystallizes to match. So if you want to change anything in your life, you simply see it, feel it, be it. First in consciousness, you simply have it. First in consciousness. Then it is sure to crystallize on the external. This is why, and this is how the inner eye, actually the third eye, or the unseen eye, pineal, operates. This is how it operates. It carries the imaging faculty. That's where imagination takes place. So your wealth is directly tied to your ability to imagine. Your health is directly tied to your ability to imagine. Now the pineal, when decalcified and open and working and pumping and full of fluid and full of life, it comes online, and with it comes online our ability to see. We can see who we are, we can see God in a way, which only really happens when we shut our physical eyes, right? Of course, you can look at the outer environment and see God everywhere, yes, but how many of us are trained to do so and trained to stay that way, right? We get distracted because the outer world is Rahu, the outer world is illusion. We think that the inner world is illusion because we can't see it. No, it's the opposite. The outer world is the world of illusion. It's the world of, it's Babylon, basically. So it's the realm of Caesar. It's the world of Caesar. So knowing this, we can imagine anything into creation. So all we need to do is tap into the imagination. This goes for health too, guys. Like if you have anything with health, you want to feel it now. You want to feel the healing now. You want to feel the cure now. The secret is feeling. The secret is your feeling state. I teach luck mastery in my school community and in my coaching calls and in my 12-week mentorship. And luck mastery is essentially having the ability to produce fortune. So how do we do this, right? Fortune comes in many forms. But first, we make our own energy fortunate. We make our own energy abundant. This means we heal. We have to heal, right? So what is healing? Well, healing is just stripping away the layers of conditioning that we have accumulated over lifetimes. And so when we heal, we remove layers of identity. You know, identity that we have in society, identity we have with our parents, with our family, with ourselves. So often we delude ourselves. We lie to ourselves about who we are. And those who don't understand God, I'm going to say that again. Those who don't lie to themselves about who they are, they understand God. That's big. It's a lifelong exploration. It's a lifelong journey to do so. This is the journey of self-realization. So when we understand self, we come to understand God. And when we seek to understand God, we understand self. The two are braided. They're intertwined. You know, you can't have one without the other. So if you do go on this quest, you know, you will understand that you are non-different in a way, very closely tied together, like bonded, always connected via a spiritual umbilical cord. That is why and how we have direct contact to source. Like, you don't need to call any external number, like any external number for help or support or love. No, it's within you. And this is the most beautiful thing in the world, because you realize that you came here equipped with everything. So whenever we want another person outside of ourselves or another thing, object, we are lost in a way, because like we don't realize that like we have everything within. We've even created the people in our experience. And if you don't understand this, meditate on it. So our power is actually God power. And we don't limit God by limiting ourselves. We don't want to limit God by limiting ourselves. Never, never, never. That is why anything that is said, that is spoken by the tongue, that is negative towards ourselves, it is immediately negative towards everyone and everything that has ever existed. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's why gratitude, it's not just a hack, it's not just a cheat code. It is the language of the stars. It is a language of God, because pure gratitude is love. It's unconditional love, and so that's God's language. And so when we learn His language, seek to understand it, and seek to understand Him, His energy. Oh my gosh, like we become purified and cleansed beyond, and our karma as well gets dissolved or mitigated. So God will give us karma that is basically we pay less than what we had to originally pay, basically, so He'll give us like uncomfortable situations that just catalyze our growth in growing closer to Him, and then spiritually advancing further. And it's not as big of a payment. The bad thing that could have happened, never did. So He's so merciful. And what religion has done, it's human beings just come here and they destroy everything, because what religion has done is provide a story, a theme, a movie. They've Hollywooded it, so I did not need religion to find God, and I would not recommend going about it that way. You could, of course. Well, look, all roads lead to the same destination, but personally, I have seen great progress, spiritual progress, when simply going within myself and communicating directly to the divine, who's everywhere and everything, and who listens to our thoughts, and who listens to our worries and heart, and who's at all times providing us with unconditional love. Like the same power and forces that like move the moon, and change the moon's phases, and move the stars, and powers the sun, like that same force is being constantly streamlined towards you. Do you understand? So if you're not a frequency match to it, or if you're not picking up on it, or if you're not acknowledging it or being receptive to it or listening, if you're not listening, how can it communicate with you? How can it show you signs of which path to go, who you are, what to do, where to be? You will not know. You will not know. And so we get lost in the race consciousness. We get lost in the world of Caesar, in the world of illusions, in the world of tricks. We think that our illness is permanent, our misfortune is permanent. We even attribute our past to ourselves, and so we age. Aging is psychological, because we think that we have lived a life. But if you meditated every day, because the universe is mental, so if you meditate constantly, you stay the same, or you stay like you just got here. So the the spirit remains youthful. The body also to some degree remains youthful as per the energy of the individual, right? And so this is what Christ practiced. This is healing, guys. This is cellular rejuvenation, like, constantly. Now, our minds are very powerful. So when we aid our minds with the proper environment and obviously habits and everything, then our soul gets to be also nourished by that, like what we eat is really, really important, because it impacts everything. And that is why vegetarianism is like so, you don't eat dead matter, you know what I mean? But yeah. So basically, if I were to explain it, there are 3 categories for everything. There is, tamas, rajas, and gunas, right? So tamas is illusion, it's darkness. Rajas is passion. And wait, I think, hold on, am I getting this wrong? Hold on. Tamas, rajas. Okay, I might actually be getting it wrong. There are 3 gunas. Okay, I'm getting it wrong for sure. Sattva, is that the one? I'm pretty sure. I'm forgetting the name of the one that's like the best one. Like the one that is like in the mode of goodness. So there are 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So things that are sattvic, things that are rajasic, and things that are tamasic. Okay, there we go. So food that is sattvic is like vegetarian food or vegan food. Basically food that is not, like all food that excludes any animal products, including like eggs and dairy, and then also like excluding onions, because onions are rajasic in nature. So basically, like, you eat them, right, and then you like develop like more of like a passionate, like, sort of like personality, because onions are really they have that bitter, like, spicy, they are actually, like, onions are the epitome. They're literally from the ground. They're literally a vegetable. So like every single spicy thing that you can think of has been onionified, you know what I mean? So yeah, like onion and garlic are rajasic. So like I grew up eating like sattvic food, so like literally nothing spicy, or no meats, no onion and garlic. And when I was really young, no chocolate. We would have cardamom. I think it's called cardamom. And then no jello, because jello has gelatin in it. So we would have like homemade jello. Anyway, but yeah, so it's really important and cool when you understand that all of the orifices of the body are being fed at all times. So our thoughts literally make up our mental palace. So we want to like really kind of be careful with like what we think and how we feel, because it always has to come out. Sometimes it comes out in self-destruction, sometimes in other ways, but if we knew how powerful our thoughts were, we would not indulge in negative thinking so much. We would also not watch the news. Like you have to understand, guys, like they create chaos and then they feed it to you. It's so simple. Like, what is simple and stupid and like basic like protocol to like get people to like live in fear, scarcity, and separation and pain, collective pain? Like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, the ascension of your consciousness is first. So instead of watching the news and being brainwashed by bullshit, like read the Gita, read the Bible, listen to the Gita, listen to these texts, like listen to them if you can't read them. I'm saying this literally because I want your asses to be saved. You know what I mean? Literally, like I want y'all to be happy. I want you guys to be happy. I want people to be happy because I know what it feels like to not be for so long. You know? Really, I went from being very unhappy to having it all. And I'll tell you now that everything physical is first spiritual. You know, joy and bliss and stuff, it comes from, connection to the supreme. Like pure ecstasy comes from connection. There's no better feeling. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I've done it, guys. I've partied. I had my party phase. You know what I mean? I had, my phase of just like indulging in things. Like I've lived a life. You know what I mean? And so I realized that there's something that is so intoxicating that a lot of people don't know about. And it's like the epitome of intoxication, and it's healing massively, and it like returns you back to self. And this is union with God. This is what it is to connect to God, to sit with him, to be friends with him, to realize he's your best friend and well-wisher. There's like no other joy. And you become so grateful for your life after that. This is what it is to really do the inner work. You work through your stuff and you realize one by one, if you have to, why every single thing had to happen to you and how every single thing was a lesson for your soul's ascension. And you are grateful to God. And in this way, guys, like when we really sit with him, all our worries, anxieties, like dilemmas, like problems, like pains, they evaporate. And trust me, like I didn't believe any of this. I was so done with life. And slowly, like I had to look for like glimmers of hope, and like I had to get like literally divine intervention from God to like make those glimmers like bigger and bigger and bigger until I could like believe them, and he does, he really does. Like God wants us to be happy, to have the best things in life, to not struggle or worry, to not even overwork. Like he wants to bless us, but like are we receptive to his grace? Which is a learning process as well. Through repetition. We learn through repetition of sitting with him how to receive his energy and his love. The inner work is spiritual. It's not mental. It's not mental. It's spiritual. It's heart-based. It's heart-centered. You go to the heart. You sit within the heart. The mind doesn't do anything good. You don't want to. The mind is like the last guy to understand. First the heart knows, then the subconscious. First you have soul understanding, then the heart registers it, then the layers of consciousness register it. So the understanding moves throughout your energetic layers in this way. It seeps into your energetic body this way. And so your mind is kind of like the last thing to understand, because it comes from within you, and it like colors your energetic body outward, like layer after layer after layer. And then once the understanding hits the last layer, you get like physical reactions like goosebumps and full body chills, and like there's like a registering there. You know what I mean? And so that's how you actually become a new soul. That's how you actually change and transform, which is possible. I've done it. I've become many, many different versions of myself over and over again. And it was through this journey of walking with God, and it's a very purposeful journey. It has been me walking my purpose, you know? And so you'll see this with anybody too. Like anybody who walks their purpose, they change. They transform because they're being changed by the experience, you know? It's a beautiful thing. Now, that's why I say, like, never look outside to the opinions of society. People don't know anything. They don't really know anything. They don't even know who they are. Only always trust yourself and trust the experiences you've been through and trust your soul, because it does lead you. You just have to listen and follow it. Okay? So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this audio. Thank you for listening until the end. Thank you for being here. I hope that you received this energy in this download. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.